prepare yourselves. The most heartbreaking twist of the season isn't what you think. Heartland fans, get ready, because episode 5 of season 19 is not just another emotional ride. It's the episode that will leave every fan heartbroken and speechless. Amy's bond with Spartan has always been unshakable, stronger than words, deeper than time itself. But this time, even love may not be enough to save them. As the ranch faces one of its darkest nights, whispers of betrayal, loss, and broken trust echo through the Heartland barn. Could Amy's dearest companion, her soul in horse form, be slipping away for good? And worse, is someone she trusted responsible for the tragedy that's about to unfold? The sun rises over Heartland with a beauty that feels almost deceptive. Golden light spills across the fields, wrapping the barn in warmth that hides the tension lurking beneath. Amy moves quietly, her boots pressing softly against the dusty floor as she checks on Spartan. For years, that horse has been her heart, her silent partner through pain and healing. But lately, something about him feels different. His energy is off, his breathing slower, his spirit dimmer. Amy notices it right away, the way only she can. The bond they share allows her to feel what words can't express, and what she feels now is fear. Jack joins her, his voice low and steady as always. "You've been spending too much time worrying, Amy," he says. But she can't shake the unease. Every time Spartan exhales, it's like the sound of something fading. She strokes his mane gently, whispering, "You're just tired, boy, right?" Yet deep inside, she knows it's more than that. Later that morning, the ranch comes alive with chatter. There's talk about a new client, a high-profile equestrian competitor who's coming to Heartland for special training before the national trials. It should have been good news. But for Amy, it feels like pressure she doesn't need right now. Spartan isn't well, and she can't figure out why. Still, she forces a smile as the client arrives, confident, ambitious, and clearly impatient. "You promise results?" the woman asks sharply. Amy answers softly, "We'll get there, but it takes time." Training is about trust. The client's smirk says it all. She's not here for lessons on trust, she's here for victory. As the day unfolds, Amy's instincts scream louder. Spartan's movements are sluggish, his eyes dull. She checks his temperature, his feed, everything she can think of. Nothing explains it. Georgie, noticing Amy's concern, suggests calling a vet, but Amy hesitates. "He's not sick," she insists. "It's something else." That night, she stays in the barn long after everyone's gone to bed. The silence wraps around her like a weight. She talks to Spartan in whispers, her voice trembling. "You've carried me through storms, boy. Don't give up now." Spartan flicks his ear, trying to respond, but the exhaustion in his body says more than words could. By morning, rumors have started to spread. Some ranch hands whisper that Amy's losing her touch, that ever since Ty's death, she's become too emotional, too distracted. The words sting, but Amy tries to ignore them. She focuses on Spartan, but every test she runs brings no answers. It's like he's fading from the inside out. The client grows impatient, calling her methods outdated. She even hints that Amy's emotional connection might be the reason for failure. "You rely too much on feelings," she says coldly. "Science wins medals, not emotions." Amy's jaw tightens. She doesn't reply, but her silence speaks volumes. Later, Jack finds her sitting alone by Spartan's stall. The evening light casts long shadows across the barn. "You can't save everyone, Amy," he says softly, "but you can always try." She nods, holding back tears. When she looks at Spartan, she sees not just a horse, but every piece of her life tied to him. The laughter, the pain, the memories of Ty, all of it connected. And that's when she notices something small, something out of place. A half-torn label on a supplement bottle near Spartan's feed. She picks it up, frowning. It's not what she ordered. Her gut twists. Could someone have tampered with it? The next day, the tension at Heartland grows. The Olympian client arrives early, frustration written across her face. Why isn't he ready yet? She snaps. Amy answers calmly, because something's wrong, and I won't risk him. The woman scoffs, storming off, but Amy's mind isn't on the argument. It's on that bottle. Something isn't right. She starts digging through records, feed logs, and receipts. Everything looks normal until she spots one small inconsistency. An unlisted delivery made 2 weeks ago. Someone added a supplement order under her name, but Amy never placed it. That night, rain begins to fall over Heartland. Light at first, then heavier, as thunder rolls across the sky. Inside the barn, Amy stays with Spartan. She feels the storm both outside and within. She whispers to him again, "You'll be okay, boy. You have to be." Spartan lets out a low breath, almost like a sigh. Amy closes her eyes, fighting the fear rising in her chest. Then, in the distance, she hears voices, faint but unmistakable. The client and one of the ranch hands whispering near the feed room. Amy steps closer, careful not to make a sound. Her name drifts through the air like a dagger. "Maybe Amy's losing her touch," the client mutters. "Her methods are too soft." The ranch hand chuckles. "Wouldn't surprise me?" People are saying she's slipping. Amy freezes, her heart pounding. Those words confirm what she already suspected. Someone is working against her. The supplements, the rumors, the pressure. It's all connected. She looks at Spartan, his eyes barely open, his breaths shallow. The fear turns into quiet determination. "They won't break us," she whispers. Outside, lightning flashes across the sky, lighting the barn for a split second. It's a haunting image. Amy kneeling beside her dying horse, framed in light and shadow, as rain pounds the roof above. The storm has arrived, and with it, the beginning of Heartland's most heartbreaking battle yet. Amy's world seems to be falling apart piece by piece. After that devastating night, the ranch feels colder, emptier, and somehow different. Every time she walks past Spartan's stall, there's an ache in her chest that words can't touch. The once vibrant sounds of Heartland, the horses, the laughter, the wind, now echo with grief. But deep inside, Amy knows that something about Spartan's death doesn't add up. The way the storm came and went, the missing security footage, the half-burnt rope, nothing feels natural. Jack tries to comfort her, but Amy's silence tells him more than words ever could. She's not just mourning, she's searching for truth, searching for the reason behind the tragedy that took away the horse who was her heart's anchor. She starts spending nights in the barn, sitting where Spartan once stood, replaying every moment in her mind, and slowly, questions begin to form. Sharp, painful questions that no one seems ready to answer. One morning, she finds something hidden under a loose wooden plank. Spartan's broken bridle, burnt and stained, but intact enough to reveal a mark. A faint but familiar brand, one she's seen before, on horses that were part of an illegal racing circuit years ago. The realization hits her like a lightning bolt. Could it be that Spartan's death wasn't an accident, but sabotage? Amy takes the bridle to Tim, but his reaction shocks her. Instead of outrage or confusion, there's hesitation. A flicker of fear. "Amy, some things are better left alone," he mutters, walking away before she can press him further. That's when Amy's suspicion turns into conviction. Someone at Heartland knows what really happened, and they're hiding it. Lou, ever the peacemaker, tries to talk sense into her. "Amy, we've lost so much already. Don't make yourself crazy looking for answers that won't bring him back." But Amy can't stop. Her heart won't let her, because she can still feel Spartan's presence, like a whisper in the wind, urging her not to give up. The bond they shared wasn't ordinary. It was built on trust, on love that defied reason. And if there's one thing Amy knows for sure, it's that Spartan would never leave her without a fight. Late that evening, while sorting through old ranch records, Amy finds a note tucked inside an old ledger, written in rushed handwriting. He was never meant to die. Her hands tremble as she reads it over and over. Someone knew, someone tried to warn them. But who? And why didn't they speak sooner? The next day, Amy rides out to the northern field, following the trail where Spartan was last seen alive. There, she finds something buried under the mud, a metal fragment from a trailer gate, marked with the same racing logo. The pieces are starting to come together, but the truth feels heavier than she imagined. If she's right, this isn't just about Spartan. It's about a secret that could destroy everything Heartland stands for. Amy's grief begins to turn into anger. Not wild or reckless, but focused. She decides she won't rest until she uncovers every lie, every betrayal. Heartland has faced storms before, but this one feels different. This one comes from within. And as Amy looks toward the horizon, the setting sun paints her face in gold, the light of someone who's ready to fight, no matter what it costs. But as night falls again, a new fear creeps in. If Spartan's death was deliberate, then Amy might be next, because the truth she's chasing could expose someone powerful, someone who will stop at nothing to keep their secret buried forever. The next few days at Heartland are filled with tension so thick it feels like the air itself has turned heavy. Everyone is pretending things are normal. The chores continue, the horses are fed, and Lou keeps busy with business meetings. But deep down, Amy knows the truth. Nothing is normal anymore. The warmth that once defined Heartland has been replaced with unease. Eyes dart away when she enters a room. Conversations stop halfway, and whispers follow her everywhere. Amy can't ignore it any longer. Someone close to her is hiding the truth. She confronts Tim again, this time refusing to let him walk away. Her voice trembles, but remains firm. "You know something, don't you? About Spartan." About that night, Tim looks at her, torn between guilt and fear, his eyes avoiding hers. Finally, he says, "Amy, you don't understand. I was trying to protect you, but those words don't comfort her. They cut deeper." Protect her from what? From the truth. Tim admits that he had been approached weeks ago by a man from a racing syndicate who wanted Spartan, not for racing, but for breeding. They offered money, a lot of it. Tim refused, but when he did, things got complicated. He started receiving threats, strange calls, and once, someone even broke into the barn at night. Tim thought it was just intimidation, but now, it all makes sense. Amy listens in silence, every word twisting her heart tighter. The realization that Spartan's death was tied to greed, to human betrayal, breaks something inside her. That night, Amy stands by Spartan's grave, tears glistening in the moonlight. She whispers, "I'm sorry, I failed you." But the stillness of the night seems to whisper back, "No, you didn't." It's as if the bond they shared still exists, pushing her forward, refusing to let her drown in guilt. She wipes her tears and makes a promise to herself and to Spartan that she will expose whoever did this, even if it means turning Heartland upside down. The next morning, Amy finds a set of old camera drives hidden in the storage room, backups from the night Spartan died. She plugs them into Jack's laptop, and what she sees freezes her blood. A shadowy figure near the barn, carrying something that looks like a fuel can. The footage is grainy, but one thing is unmistakable. The hat, the jacket. It looks like someone she knows. Her heart pounds. Could it be Caleb? The thought makes her sick, but she can't ignore what she saw. Amy drives straight to Caleb's trailer, anger and confusion burning inside her. Caleb is stunned by her accusation and denies it immediately, but his nervousness gives her no peace. "Amy, I swear I had nothing to do with that fire," he pleads, but Amy can't shake the image from her mind. "Then why were you there that night?" she demands. Caleb hesitates, and in that hesitation, trust breaks completely. Because Tim told me to keep an eye on Spartan. He thought someone was going to take him. That changes everything. The betrayal isn't from Caleb, it's deeper. Someone else orchestrated all of this, pulling strings from behind the scenes. Amy storms back to the ranch, confronting Tim again. "You knew all along," she cries. But this time, Tim's anger erupts too. "I was trying to keep you safe, Amy. You think you can handle the kind of people who do this? You don't know how dangerous they are." Amy's voice cracks, full of heartbreak and fury. "You should have trusted me, Dad. You should have trusted me like I trusted you." And that's when the silence hits. The kind that follows when something breaks and can never be fixed. As Amy walks away from him, her resolve hardens. The trust that once bound her family is fractured, and now she stands alone, not just against the lies, but against her own fears. For the first time in her life, Amy Fleming isn't just fighting to protect a horse or a ranch. She's fighting to uncover a truth that could destroy the people she loves most. The calm before the storm has passed. What's coming next won't just test her strength. It will test her heart. Because in Heartland, betrayal doesn't always come from strangers. Sometimes it comes from family. The days that follow feel like living through an endless twilight. Nothing feels right, nothing feels safe. The ranch that once brought peace now feels haunted by shadows of truth. Amy wishes weren't real. Every creak of the barn door, every flicker of the stable lights feels like a reminder that danger is closer than she thinks. But Amy is done being afraid. The fire that took Spartan might have burned her world, but it also awakened something fierce within her, a strength she didn't know she still had. She spends nights digging through phone records, old receipts, and messages. Her intuition leads her to a name she's been hearing in whispers: Cole Matthews, a horse trader with a dark past, known for buying and stealing horses under false deals. The same man Tim once worked with years ago. Amy's gut tells her he's involved. When she confronts Tim about it, he admits that Cole was the man who offered money for Spartan. "I told him no," Tim insists, but Cole doesn't take no for an answer. That night, Amy receives a message from an unknown number. Just one sentence: "You should have stayed quiet." Her hands tremble, but she refuses to back down. Instead, she drives out to the old pasture, the one near the edge of the property, where the fire first started. There, under the ashes, she finds something shocking: hoof prints, fresh ones. Her heart races. It can't be. Spartan was gone, but those prints, she knows them better than her own reflection. Could Spartan still be alive? The thought hits her like lightning. Hope, fragile but fierce, floods through her veins. She calls Jack and Caleb to come help search, but the storm begins to roll in. Dark clouds, heavy winds, just like the night it all began. Amy doesn't care. She rides out on another horse, calling Spartan's name through the rain. Her voice echoes through the hills, desperate, trembling, full of love and disbelief. Then, through the lightning's flash, she sees a figure, a horse standing by the ridge, limping but alive. Amy's heart nearly stops. It's him, Spartan, covered in mud, bruised and trembling, but alive. "Spartan," she whispers, tears mixing with the rain. She dismounts slowly, walking toward him, every step heavy with disbelief. When she reaches him, he lowers his head, touching her shoulder like he used to, a gesture of recognition, of love that never died. Amy cries, holding his face, whispering apologies, promises, and prayers all at once. But the reunion is cut short by a sound behind her. Footsteps, snapping twigs. She turns and sees a man emerging from the dark. Cole Matthews. His voice is cold and full of anger. "That horse wasn't supposed to survive," he growls. "You just made a mistake, Amy." Fear floods through her, but she stands her ground. "You tried to kill him," she says, her voice shaking but defiant. "You burned down my barn, destroyed my family's trust." "For what? Money?" Cole sneers, stepping closer. You think you can stop me? People like you don't understand business. That horse was worth a fortune. Before he can move closer, headlights cut through the darkness. Jack struck. He jumps out with his shotgun aimed, shouting for Cole to back off. The storm rages as thunder cracks across the sky. Cole hesitates, then bolts into the woods, disappearing into the rain. Jack rushes to Amy's side, helping her steady Spartan, who's weak but alive. Amy can barely speak through the sobs. He's alive, Grandpa. He's really here. Jack wraps his arms around her, his voice soft but heavy with emotion. You found him, Amy. You never stopped believing. That's what saved him. As the storm finally breaks, the three of them walk Spartan back to the barn. The once lonely place now glows with light and warmth again. But as Amy brushes the dirt from Spartan's mane, she realizes this isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of something much bigger. Because even though Spartan is alive, someone tried to destroy everything they love, and that someone is still out there. The storm might have passed, but the war for Heartland's truth has only just begun. The morning after the storm, Heartland feels different. Calm, yet full of tension, like the land itself is holding its breath. The sun shines through the clouds, washing the ranch in golden light, but Amy knows the light doesn't erase what happened. Spartan is alive, bruised, shaken, but alive, and that miracle alone has changed everything. Yet peace doesn't come easily. Every time Amy looks into Spartan's eyes, she sees what he's been through, the pain he endured, and the betrayal that almost took him away. She knows one truth now. This fight isn't over. Tim sits alone on the porch, guilt etched deep into his face. He hasn't said much since the night Cole disappeared into the woods. Amy joins him, her voice quiet but steady. You knew this could happen, didn't you? She asks. He nods slowly. I thought I could handle it, Amy. I thought if I kept you out of it, it would go away. She looks at him, her eyes filled with both love and disappointment. You broke my trust, Dad. And maybe you thought you were protecting me, but all you did was make me fight alone. There's a long silence, the kind that only happens when a truth finally finds its place between two people. Tim's voice cracks when he finally speaks. I'm sorry, Amy. I was wrong. You've always been stronger than I gave you credit for. She doesn't reply, but the small nod she gives says enough. Trust can break, but sometimes it can also heal. Not by forgetting the past, but by choosing to move forward despite it. Meanwhile, Jack and Caleb manage to track down Cole's abandoned truck near the river. Inside, they find files, documents proving that Spartan wasn't his only target. Cole had a network of stolen horses. Some sold under fake ownership papers, others used.